Operation Samudra Setu, which was launched on 5th of May 2020 as part of the national effort to repatriate Indian citizens from overseas during the COVID-19 pandemic, has culminated after successfully bringing 3,992 Indian citizens back to their homeland by sea. Indian naval ships Jalashwa, Airawat, Shardul and Magar have participated in this operation, which lasted over 55 days and involved traversing more than 23,000 kilometers by sea. Indian Navy has previously undertaken similar evacuation operations as a part of Operation Sukoon and Operation Rahat. And the COVID-19 pandemic has had significant impact on ships and seafarers due to the compact environment and forced ventilation systems on board ships. It was in these trying times and difficult conditions that the Indian Navy took up the challenge to evacuate our distressed citizens from overseas. The greatest challenge for the Indian Navy was to avoid any incident of outbreak of infection on board the ships during the evacuation operation. Let us appreciate Indian Navy for making this particular operation a very successful one. And with this particular information and various other important inputs, let us begin with today's defense updates of 10th of July 2020. And as I always introduced to you before starting the updates, that SSB Crack Exams is India's largest, most preferred online defense exams preparation portal. It is one-stop solution for you if you are preparing for NDA, CDS, AFCAT, INET, Territorial Army and Indian Air Forces Admin Group X and Group Y. You can follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Twitter and Telegram, and you can even directly visit us through our website learn.ssbcrackexams.com. You can even download our app from Google Play Store where you can have each and every defense related information, examination related study material and all sorts of informative content in your hands. Beginning with the question of the day that I have posted on 9th of July 2020, and the question that I asked you guys was, how many hydropower projects or dams did Pakistan build in the Pakistan occupied Kashmir? That means how many hydropower projects or dams did Pakistan build in the POK? And as I expected, most of the people have not given the right answer for this because there is no exact number we can say, because that area is a very classified area and it comes under the both important nations and the area is still a disputed one. So for the people who are living there, Pakistan had built some dams and India has also built some dams. So Pakistan has built approximately 27 dams and most of these constructed dams are operational under the private resources. Understanding? So most of these dams that are built by Pakistan are under the private control, whereas a triple number of these, like 27 into 3, that number of dams are still proposed, papers are even ready, but are never built in many years due to the various factors. Okay. Now let us begin with today's first and foremost important defense update, and that is that the Technical Entry Scheme 33rd course, which is being conducted at MCEME in Secunderabad, they are going to have their convocation ceremony today, and this will be conducted from 9 AM sharp from today early morning. The link towards the convocation ceremony is given in the description. You can go there and you can watch it live there. Okay. Going on with the next important defense information is that the Armed Forces Medical College has conducted a 4-day online training course on COVID-19 where other nationals participated. And who are those nationals? They are the medical officers from Cambodia, Myanmar, Laos and Vietnam. The medical officers from these 4 nations have participated in the AFMC's 4-day online training course on COVID-19, and they shared the knowledge and best practices to fight the COVID pandemic. Going on with the next important information is that Raksha Mantri Shri Rajnath Singh Ji, he inaugurates, that means he inaugurates through video conferencing 6 strategic bridges in Jammu and Kashmir, and the 6 bridges were inaugurated in the presence of Minister of State Independent Charge, Minister of State, Prime Minister's Office, Ministry of Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions, Department of Atomic Energy and Department of Space, Dr. Jitendra Singh. These bridges were constructed by Project Sampark of the Border Roads organizations, and these bridges will connect the most important areas, very strategic locations in that particular region. And what are those important bridges? All of these are these 6 bridges. They are the Tarna 1 bridge and the Tarna 2 bridge. Tarna 1 bridge is 160 meters long and Tarna 2 bridge is 300 meters long. Then we have the Palwan bridge, which is 91 meters. We have Panyali bridge, which is just 31 meters. we have Pahadiwala Bridge, which is 61 meters, and Ghodawala Bridge, which is 151 meters. All of these 6 bridges are constructed in Jammu and Kashmir, and all of these 6 bridges are very important. To get in detail about the places that these bridges connect and what all possibilities does these bridges offer towards our armed forces are mentioned in the article and also in the daily defense updates PDF that we are providing in the app. You can download our app and you can freely download the defense updates PDF, and in that PDF you can find out each and every format in a much more detailed way. Going on with the next important defense update is that Indian Navy completes Operation Samudra Setu. This is what I was discussing with you in the introductory session, and Operation Samudra Setu, which was launched on 5th of May 2020 as a part of the national effort to repatriate Indian citizens from overseas during COVID-19 pandemic, has culminated. That means it has ended. Okay, it has ended successfully, bringing 3,992 Indian citizens back to their homeland by sea. And what are all those ships that are included? There are 4 ships that were included. Ship number 1 is INS Jalashwa, which is a landing platform dock. Then we have INS Shardul and INS Airawat, and we also have INS Magar. INS Magar is a landing ship tank. All of these 4 ships have participated in this operation, which lasted over 55 days, and it involved more than 23,000 kilometers by sea. To get in more in detail, these are the details that are proposed, and this is the complete information about the Operation Samudra Setu. Okay. And to get also in detail that we include most of the important evacuations are being done by INS Jalashwa. INS Jalashwa has done 5 important evacuation operations, whereas INS Magar, INS Shardul and INS Airawat have one single evacuation. INS Magar has embarked 202 Indian citizens from the port of Malé, and it reached the Kochi port on 12th of May, and it started its journey on 10th of May. INS Shardul has started its evacuation of 700 Indian nationals from the port of 233 Indian nationals from the port of Bandar Abbas of Iran to Porbandar of Gujarat, and it was completed on 11th of June. INS Airawat has repatriated 198 Indian nationals from the port of Malé of Maldives, and it reached the Tuticorin port of Kerala of our country on 23rd of June, and it has started its journey on 20th of June. And all of these 3 are the most important ships. Only it was INS Jalashwa which has participated in repatriation of various Indian citizens from the ports of Malé and also from the port of Bandar Abbas of Iran. Going on with the next important defense update is that French army receives new Griffon multi-role armored vehicles. And how many? It received 13 new Griffon multi-role armored vehicles, which were handed over to the 21st Marine Infantry Regiment on 9th of July, that is yesterday, by the French Defense Procurement Agency under the Scorpion program. Okay, the French Defense Ministry has made up this particular program, and this program has been named as the Scorpion program. And the French Defense Procurement Agency, under this particular Scorpion program, it has inducted 13 new multi-role armored vehicles which were handed over to the 21st Marine Infantry Regiment. Overall, the Scorpion program plans the delivery of 1,872 Griffon to the French Army by Temporary Company Grouping EBMR. 936 vehicles will be presented until 2025, that is 5 years later, and with all the maintenance and logistics support. Okay, going on with the next important update is that the United States Army begins testing new self-propelled mortar system. This is what? It is a self-propelled mortar system. This new self-propelled mortar system is based on the chassis of 8x8 armored vehicle. The rear section of its all-welded steel hull houses a large Nemo remote-controlled 120mm mortar system with both direct and indirect fire capability. It has both direct and indirect fire capability. The system is manned by a crew of 3, including 1 driver, 1 commander and 1 gunner. How many does this particular self-propelled mortar system has? It is being driven and it is manned by a crew of 3 members, which include 1 driver, 1 commander and 1 gunner. Going on with the next important defense information is that China completes withdrawal of troops from 3 areas and another round of talks are expected today. The Chinese People's Liberation Army that has completed its withdrawal of troops yesterday from 2 more face-off sites in Gogra and Hot Springs in eastern Ladakh, in line with mutually agreed disengagement process with India, even as 2 countries are set to hold a fresh round of diplomatic talks today to further de-escalate the situation. The details of the talks that are going to be considered between both the nations and various other important updates regarding this particular concept will be explained to you and will be given to you in the tomorrow's defense update. So I wish that you people are staying tuned with us. Going on with the last and final important defense information is that United Nations makes its 3rd communication on Jammu and Kashmir public. Already it has made 2 important communicative requests to the Indian government to take care of the people living in the Jammu and Kashmir, their humanitarian rights and their needs. But however, the 3rd communication has been made public. The United Nations special rapporteurs have made public their 3rd communication. And this has been done under since August 5th or 2019's decision to revoke Jammu and Kashmir special status, and the United Nations is expressing in particular the grave concern over alleged excessive use of force, ill treatment during arrests and detentions. However, India is particularly clear on its stand that it is just, impartial, and United Nations has no right to talk about Kashmir as it is India's internal issue. Okay. Also, to get in detail, that the United Nations urged Indian government to conduct a prompt and impartial investigation, if it has not done so already, into the allegations of arbitrary killings, torture and ill treatment, and to prosecute suspected perpetrators under Article 6 of International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights and Articles 7 and 12 of the Committee Against Torture. Okay. Now we will have a very quick review of the concepts we have discussed by going through various important questions. And the first and foremost question is, which among the following ships of the Indian Navy have made more than 1 trip of embarkation of Indian citizens from abroad? So the answer for that is obviously INS Jalashwa. However, INS Magar, INS Shardul and INS Airavat have done only one single repatriation trip from various important countries. Going on with the next important question is, medical officers from which of the following nation did not participate in the 4-day online training course on COVID-19 conducted by Armed Forces Medical Services or Medical College? And the answer for that is Philippines. Vietnam, Cambodia, Myanmar and Laos. Okay, Vietnam, Cambodia, Myanmar and Laos are those 4 nations. These 4 nations medical officers have participated in the 4-day online training. It was not of the Philippines. Okay, going on with the last and final question is, what is the full form of ICCPR? The full form of ICCPR is International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights. Okay, now we have the question of the day, and the question of the day for today is, what is UNDOF and why was it signed? Also we can say it as, what is UNDOF and why was it signed? The answer for this and the explanation for it I will be giving you in the next session. Until then, stay tuned to SSB Crack Exam, subscribe to this particular channel, download our app from Google Play Store, and last but not the least, always stay home, stay safe, stay clean and healthy, and Jai Hind.